Hello, and welcome to episode 70 of Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, create a theme deck. I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing, delightful, sparkling co-hosts. First up, this week, Ben, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
Well, my week in Snap, endeavoring to keep it snappy, as I frequently do.
Every time.
Every time, yeah. It was a pretty good weekend Snap. There's a new limited time game mode. Here's a little baby trip to Cosmetics Corner. I've been getting a lot of coveted ink splits on some of my favorite cards in recent weeks, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of recent months. It seemed like there were many months when I was just like not getting any of my beautiful ink splits. But now my whole Sanctum Showdown deck is fully inked out. The one that I played for like the past 3 Sanctums, and hope to play again in the next.
That's a true measure of like loving. You keep an event as soon as high voltage is over and like get out of here, unless like you're talking about doing the podcast or something. Yours is still together.
Yeah, well, I've used
real
it
love.
several times.
It's real deck love.
It's a real good one.
Sanctum's the best game mode.
It is the best game mode, and Team Clash has not done much to convince me otherwise. New card came out this week.
You invited us into Cosmetics Corner. I want to take this opportunity while we're here to ask what both of you, what is your general like splitting strategy? What are your goals?
Cards that I like and like think that I'm going to use a lot, I will try to get them to ink. Usually that means move cards, discard cards, surfer cards, and then there are just like sort of general cards that I like that I'm gonna like use in multiple decks like forever. Like, you know, I've got inked out Merlin and I'm working towards inked out Stardust, you know, like I've got and when I say move cards, I'm also including like Scream cards in there.
Of course.
For a minute, my goal was to have like all kinds of move cards inked out, but like really only just move cards I like. It's probably not going to happen from Adam Webb because we're just not tight like that. Yeah, you know what? Torch is like has been in the game so long. I've thrown some boosters his way because like in theory, you know, like my principled stand against Human Torch, it's gone through many phases and had different feelings behind it, and I've never been a fan, but I used to dislike him because he died to Killmonger. That was my original reason why I did not consider Human Torch to be one of my movers. But yeah, I don't know if the card is good, I like to get it to ink, or if the card is interesting to me, I like to get it to ink.
Do you stop as soon as you get it to ink, and then you move on to the next card?
Yeah. As there are a couple of ones I've been trying to get to ink for a while. The next ones that are like really on my list that I must see in monochromatic whateverness. I'm talking about Surge and Cannonball. These two, if I get these two, they're both stuck on gold. I'll my custom card will be set to gold until the ink shows up, you know. But that like reminds me that I'm close and I got to keep trying. But man, if I get those two inked out, all kinds of decks will be fully ink. That's my approach. Ree, what do you do?
I have more of like a Dark Lord strategy, based purely on personal whimsy and whoever's in the room with me at the time. Like, which means like whatever, like that. Sorry, and I say dark, I mean more of like a Dark Queen, more of like Galadriel turning bad. Like, you know, a little love me and turn into Crackle. Yeah. So, that's That's mean to say. It really is. It's almost always late at night that I'm doing it as a reward for myself because I did my missions or whatever.
And somebody offered you the ring, you know.
And I'm always looking for the magic number of getting the over 1,500. Sometimes if I'm almost there, I hunt or I just split because I'm like, I bet if I split, I'll get enough to put me over that last tier. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and I have to remember I left one on like Ultra or whatever. And then sometimes I forget I did that, and then it's a nice surprise for a future re. Like, oh look, here's one I could split for 500. Yeah. Anyway, and it's always like a deck I'm playing because it's not exciting to me. I know there are cards that I love and I want to get good splits of, but I'm more about, for me, Snap is more about immediate satisfaction. There's so much in life we have to plan for. Like, you know, and I used to do that for Snap, but why? Why should I not live carefree and happily in my fun time game? So anyway, so yeah, it's just, you know, whatever deck I'm playing and what I have boosters for, and all of the credits, usually, as soon as I get them. You know, I haven't been playing a lot, or I've been in a bad mood when I'm like, oh, look at me, I have like 4 or 5K credits.
Yeah.
With a couple of cards. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Great.
Split fast.
But what's your goal? Or do you not have one?
Oh, a good-looking split? I like crackles. I really, you know, obviously are always desirable. And then otherwise, you know, I have also just found myself less and less using backgrounds except for inks of stuff and just going for borders. And usually I go to the level of just good enough. Like, oh, this one's just vanilla, it's just plain, and it's like the only one in the deck, and it's new, and it's like the awkward kid at school, and it like doesn't even have cool shoes, and it's like then I feel bad for it. I'm like, okay, we'll get you at least a little sparkle or something, you know. And then that's like the good enough split where it has a split. It won't feel like alone. And then we go for like the split that I'm like, yeah, that's it. You know, like when like Drac hit with the way I haven't changed Drac forever. You know, there's cards that are just like, no, you're there. Like Enchantress. Yeah, Enchantress was the very first one for me. Ink, White Crackle. It was beautiful and everything. Yeah, once I hit there, it's like, why even split more? You know what I mean? Right. Like
a mastery's not a good enough reason.
Right. No. Like there's only so much greed we should have. We could get our one, you know, tier S God split and just be happy with that and move on. You know, we don't need 5 God splits floating around in the ocean. Okay, sorry. That's how I do it, though.
I chase crackles. About 99% of my collection's sitting on base finish. I want crackles on. I want a crackle that matches. So I will, even if I get a crackle, I will keep going on a card to get a color that's good. Sometimes that means one color, and sometimes that's just like, I don't care as long as it's okay. Like, I've been working on Sam Wilson. Purple was the first one. I'm like, this doesn't fit this character at all. Purple is not the right color for him. I was going for red, white, or blue, but I ended up with gold, and it's like, it's pretty good. The split, or the variant I have has like a sunset background, so like, I might stop there. I haven't decided yet. And I used to try to get every card split at least once, so I could run the custom card and, you know, put the whatever frame I want on it. But I've stopped doing that the last few seasons because I was like, there's so many cards that come out that I'm hardly ever going to use. I would much rather pour those credits into a card I love. So I'm actually running pretty low on cards I love that need crackle, which I think says more about how picky I am than about how
your steak is too juicy posting. That's what you're doing right now. Like, oh no, I've got so much crackle. Abundance of crackle.
Look, I'm splitting Uwatu right now. That's how like thin I am on like clip cards that need to be crackled.
That's wild. You got to Uwatu.
Yeah.
See, like, I was thinking like I was getting pretty far afield because I finally inked out Shang-Chi. Who, you know, in my very early days with Marvel Snap, I got him to gold, and I was like, oh, that's good enough.
Yeah.
But I've been playing him like probably more than I have in years in
Me
the
too.
past month or so. So I figured
Yeah.
I should get him inked out, take him all the way, get him
Nice.
home. Also,
yeah.
I've been buying some variants. I've just been
That's
going
wild.
like that's the fact is like
it's a brand new Ben roller.
this isn't a secret, but like it's not that hard to stay like up to date on cards if you're like generally pretty good like about stuff, and like I'll skip a few, but like I've got enough tokens that I could unskip those. I could be 100%
Oh,
like
really?
I'm hanging comfy, like
I feel like I've mismanaged my tokens wildly.
I feel like you have also.
You've also had a healthier relationship with the game lately, right? You're not keeping up with every single mission,
That's
every
true.
single refresh.
I am not.
It's true, but I am also.
Are you claiming
not
your
doing
100
that.
free credits a day, like from the web shop? Like there might be things
No.
that you're missing, and then it's not
There's lots of
possible to
things
keep
I'm
up.
skipping. Okay, yeah.
So you're good. You're just having a healthier relationship with the game. Anyway, I appreciate
That's
the
true.
little
I did not
detour.
mean to resource shame you, Ree.
Wow.
You're doing it right.
Resource shaming.
It's okay. You can poor shame me in the game. It only cements my underdog narrative. So like
Anyway,
But
I do appreciate
have-
the detour. Ben was talking about splits, and I was like, I don't even know what my co-hosts like. What is their cosmetic strategy? Maybe we've talked about it before, but
we may have. But yeah, I dropped some token. I think this was a 1,200 gold variant, but I got a fancy Hope Summers recently just because
Ooh.
I wanted one that wasn't Pandart because I don't fucks with them.
same
But
Z's.
yeah, so I'd been rocking the base art Hope Summers like this whole time, and I just wanted to mix it up, So I bought a fancy Hope, and it looks real good. It's a cool one. I can find the name.
Is it
of
the new one where she's like holding the little like fireball thing?
It is the Alex Dos
Or is
Diaz one.
I've been rocking the Envar, and I don't think I bought it. I think I got lucky and got it in a mystery variant. Yeah, that one. It's
I also have the Envar. Okay.
Yeah, I dropped the coinage on that, and I've just been getting wild buying variants. Those Brett Bean ones last season. I didn't get all of them or anything, but I got the ones that I really that spoke to me, and it has it's made me more excited about playing those cards. Now I'm extra happy when I play a Spider-Man Noir. Although that deck anywho, there is a deck that I will talk about, but it's got Maverick in it, so I can't talk about it now. It would be wrong.
Those are the rules.
Those are the rules. Been playing other games and stuff. I don't know. I feel like I didn't really. Mostly, we just talked about cosmetics in my weekend snap, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure we'll get to whatever other snap things happened. Yeah.
We'll talk about
Exciting
Maverick and
stuff.
Team Clash. It'll happen. Okay, Ree, how was your weekend snap and keep it snappy?
Okay, so we are recording several days late, and that should have made me more prepared. But it was a week I got in pretty late, so Aida came in, and then I was mostly like playing Team Clash that we'll talk about later. So I'm normally not one to think a lot about the structure of my thoughts, but earlier today I was thinking, I'm like, we got podcasts, I'm not ready. I'm like, what is the story of like this week in Snap? And I commanded my brainbot to play me a montage of like Snap and podcast moments so my brain could do its natural thing and like fit it into something like a television, a game, or something like that. So, and what I realized about this week, though, it was just like, I don't know, a lesson in kindness and friendship and stuff. It was all just, for me, when I think about everything touching the podcaster with Snap, it was all just like people being nice to me. One of our speakeasy patrons, Spectrosity, I don't know if I'm saying that right. And also, is it more of like a Spectro City, like a cyberpunk, you know, like Tron, like, because that's what I kind of picture like
That's
a
a
be,
good
or is it
question.
like Atrocity, but like a Spectrosity?
That's how
I'm
I'm going
very
to be thinking about
curious.
it now.
I
I'm going to be
need to
thinking
know
about the
now
city
because
now.
I've been thinking Spectrosity this entire time. I've been entirely in Spectrosity camp, but like you raise it, is it Spectro City? I don't know.
Okay, whenever you see the handle, though, like I start, like a beat starts going in my head, and I want to like hoverboard with like electric lights. Anyway, so okay, they made like tying into my last weekend snap. They made a Jessica Jones rescue deck using my idea of Silver Surfer and like full of like other cards that I love, like, you know, like Kate Bishop Hawkeye and Merlin and stuff. And it's got Penny Parker, who I just always mean to play more of. It's a card I'll put in decks occasionally, and I'm always like, yeah, I mean to try and do more with that. And, you know, it's got the Quicksilver Wiccan Galactus setup, so I feel right at home, because that's what I've been playing, like, kind of have kept coming back to recently. So, like, that was really nice and sweet, and, like, I did do my secret homework stream, and like I obviously, you know, like I didn't announce it 'cause I haven't streamed in a long time, and I was worried like I would announce it ahead of time and check it out or anything. And then like and so it kind of came randomly, and I said like, you know, like 10 people or whatever showed up like out of the blue, and it's been such a year for me where I haven't been able, like, I've kind of just had to be wrapped up in my own stuff, and I haven't been able to be around and be as supportive of other people or be in the forums like I wanted. And it was still just like people came to just be like, hey, you know, like say hi and show me they still supported me and like stuff I was doing. And I was just like, oh yeah, like humanity, like, you know, we don't all have to live in this like transactional world, you know what I mean? Sometimes like it's just like, yeah, like people are just nice and they're just cool if like you're in a time when
Is this the
hard
part
for you. Yeah,
where we can gush about how cool the game is looking and how fun and fancy it seems?
oh,
And
thank
like
you.
I love seeing the
played
boss
an earlier
designs.
version of it, and it was fun then, and it looks like it's even more fun, and like the art is so good. So pass my compliments to the
Oh
Frank.
yes, Frank listens to the podcast. We're so glad to hear it.
Just everything about it is just coming together, and it looks so cool, and it's just so neato, and I'm so impressed.
It was a fun stream.
It was a fun stream.
you.
That's the thing. It was not the vegetables. It was dessert. Yum yum yum.
Okay, I appreciate that. I haven't like streamed in so long and stuff. So yeah, like you know, it was cool. Everything, even though like I was kind of like coming belatedly, and then like all my snap time got sucked into Clash, which we'll talk about later, so we won't get into now. It was good feelings, because it was all I was thinking about all the ways that the game has connected me to other people, and I hope it's done that for other people as well. So that being said, I would love to hear about our shimmering third co-host. How was your weekend snap, Lauren? You may keep it snappy if you so choose.
I am actually going to keep it snappy, even though I have a lot to say. Fourth location, which has been teased here before, I'm pretty sure, launched a few days ago. We got in like right before Team Clash launched, which was our goal. I'm glad. I appreciate Scott pushing me so hard to do that, because yes, if it was my own project, it would have taken another month or two to launch just because of my perfectionism element. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff from Scott up right now. From me, there is only the economy guide, but the economy guide,
but it's very good.
It takes so much time to put together. Thank you, Ben. Especially when it's a new event, because I'm trying to build spreadsheets so that next time Team Clash runs, I can mostly just plug in numbers. They do tend to change things a little bit each time, right? Like, oh, now there's different, now there's missions added, which was missions were the big thing to integrate for Team Clash versus Arena and Showdown. But anyway, I'm trying to make good spreadsheets. I'm also like triple checking my math along the way. So it just makes everything very slow. But there will be lots more there. Also, the website itself represents a lot of work from me, like the look and feel of it and all that. It was based on a template, but also there's like 1,000 lines of injection CSS that's affecting the presentation, which is not the cleanest way to do it. Mod Supreme Models, who is a web dev, has already like reached out to me about like, hey, there might be better ways. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But also we're trying to move fast and break things, which is not normally my style. But honestly, the response has been really good. I really appreciate everybody who supported us along the way, very much including you two. And everybody who signed up for premium. I understand if you can't sign up for premium, but if you can, it's like $4 a month, and there will be some exclusive content, but mostly it's like early access and just supporting two humans who are putting a lot of time into Marvel Snap. That's my like passive plea. The whole point all along, well, there's really two things I wanted to do with fourth location. One, I wanted to make Snap content creation sustainable for me. And two, I wanted to not have any editorial oversight. Not that, like Marvel Snap Zone has been pretty good about letting me write about whatever I want. I think there's only been 1 or 2 articles I've ever pitched where they said no. But still, I want to be able to write whatever I want without anybody signing off on it, and know that I'm contributing to something that I built. And just because I'm doing this for the love of it. Like, it's an accident that I got into content creation. I just like the game and the community a lot. So that is the main thing I've done this week.
The community likes you too, Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I know. Like I said, the response has been very, very good. Yeah, as a representative for the entire community.
Yes, I confidently speak on behalf of entire Snap.
Well, I really appreciate it. The response has been very good for just, for the few days it's been going. I think there's a good chance that it will lead to being something sustainable. But I also know like the first few days are going to have more sales than any other time in the history of the website. Like there will be
I don't know about that.
Small, long tail. That's true. Maybe we'll interview Glenn or invent an amazing tool or something. I don't know. Uh-huh. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about ways to monetize without being assholes, right? Like, I don't want to take away stuff I was already doing for the community for free. So like my economy articles, basically my strategy with them is they'll be early access for 24 hours and then free to the public. I also really, really want fourth location to be ad free because as much as I like Snap Zone and Snap Fan, I really dislike how junky they are with ads. Some of the fan sites are worse than others.
Oh my gosh. It is so easy to keep fourth location open on one of your browser tabs. Oh baby, the memory usage is like 2 digits. It's very, very nice.
Yes. So we will eventually incorporate ads if we have to, but I hope we can avoid it. Of course, we are also doing YouTube content, and that's going to have ads because I don't think we can control that. But anyway, it's my big project. I have put a lot of time into it lately. If you follow me from my clips, there haven't been clips for 4 weeks or something like that because fourth location and work have kept me very busy. It's busy season at work, if I didn't say that already. I look forward to that. I look forward to work slowing down a little bit in the new year. Anyway, let's move on. We decided ahead of time we don't have new thoughts about Wade Wilson and Weapon H, except, of course, when we talk about the OTA later. But this week's cards, we have some bangers this week, I would say. Maverick, a 3/3, activate. Give the next card you play power equal to this card's power. Ben, do you have Maverick thoughts?
Oh, yeah, of course I've got Maverick thoughts. The card's very good. I mean, for one thing, seems to... I don't know if y'all have noticed, but Zombie Galacti has been around a fair bit, and I think a lot of that has to do with Maverick. I mean, like, I know some folks are strictly doing like Wong Shuri things, but I don't know. I feel like Maverick is Maverick's a very strong card, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And a better card than Zombie Galacti. I'll plant my flag there too.
Wow, so brave.
All right, here's what I'm doing with Maverick. Though I've actually been trying a lot of different things with Maverick. I'm just going to tell you about the one that I think is the best. It's just my Golden Gauntlet Surfer deck with Maverick in it. And that's America Chavez, Surge, Merlin, Brood, Captain Carter, Silver Surfer, Maverick, Hope Summers, Mercury, Sebastian Shore, Absorbing Man, and Cannonball. And I call that deck Final Surfer 2025 because I wasn't feeling very creative. And there are only so many Poseidon boons in the 2 Hades games. And I don't want to burn all the good ones super fast.
Definitely not.
I've thrown away some great boon names on some real forgettable surfer lists.
And so you can't reuse them.
You got to be careful. Well, that's the thing. I do worry that someone would get confused or something. But yeah, that deck is feeling great. The card that I cut for Maverick was Copycat, but I feel like in a tournament setting, you're going to want Copycat because it's really good knowing what's on the bottom of your opponent's deck. It's very good. But, you know, I kind of think that the version of Surfer with Mercury and Cannonball is maybe the best one. Although I do miss my Spider-Man Noir stuff. There's just not enough room to do all the stuff. This is always the trouble with Surfer because you can do whatever you want. And that's the joy of the archetype. But yeah, I've also... I guess I'll talk about another one. I'll talk about one other Surfer deck that I built with Maverick. This one is less a Surfer deck and more an Activate deck. That's right. It's about robots. This deck is called The Distant Future, as in the year 2000.
The Distant Future. Okay.
Quite different ever since the robotic uprising of the late 90s. Instead of saying yes, we say affirmative. Unless we know the other robot really well. But that one is American Chavez, Surge, Lasher, Herbie, the original robot who meant Activate. Before the season, they were calling their shot. Very, I appreciated it. I noticed these things. Brood, Captain Carter, Silver Surfer, Cosmo. That's right, the dog. The one that makes the on reveals go away. Historically one of my natural predators, but sometimes you gotta, the bedfellows, they get real strange. Then we got Jocasta. Then the reason for the season, Maverick, Omega Sentinel, and Scarlet Spider, a card that I've always believed in, but have not, as often as I would like to, found excuses to play. So that's sort of just an Activate surfery thing. Honestly, like you could probably throw some other cards in there. You might even it could be retooled to be sort of a Zombie Galacti kind of thing. And I don't know. I'm not as confident in that deck and its goodness. That's more experimental for me. But if you want the good surfer, it's the first one I told you about. But yeah, I've been loving Maverick. Maverick, very strong. Hey, is it Atlantis? Is that the location that loves it when you've got only one thinger on it? Mm-hmm. If you notice that, save it for Maverick. If your deck has Maverick, save that spot for Maverick because he will boost something +8. Same story with Nita Valier. Also, remember to stick him behind. Jeez, God damn it! The door
you didn't do it in the middle of your train of thought.
But
for the listeners, I chatted in the Zencaster chat. I said, "Hey, one of you is being noisy."
Well,
so Ben got up to shut his door.
I've got house guests.
Oh yeah, it wasn't.
It sounds like they're having a good time.
Yeah, well, they are, but I wish. Anywho, yeah, but if you've got locations that can help Maverick bestow more than his natural 3 power, do that. If you can stick him behind Captain Carter, do that. Because, like, that's the thing. Captain Carter loves to receive a Maverick buff, but she also loves to, assist a Maverick buff as well.
I hadn't thought about how Carter is also in that Maverick space where she loves getting and receiving.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, historically, that hasn't been how it worked. It's just that Maverick is like the universal donor, and just like you can place him at any like point in your infernal contraption, and
really cool.
You'll be multiplying your stuff. So like it's also great to Maverick sometimes after surfing. Like there's like a lot of stuff you can mix up your play order where sometimes you play Brood after you've surfered. It's not like always the thing you're trying to do, but like sometimes that's the thing you end up doing. I don't know. Maverick is just really hard to go wrong with, and really easy to eke out extra value with, and is a very strong card, probably too strong. I'll say it. I've said it. It has now been said. Maverick too good.
It's on the record. Ree, did you get to play any Maverick or play against?
No, I won't lie. I haven't like even been on there. I mostly have gotten mind trapped into Team Clash against my will. I just meant to dabble and then also do other things. But so I really haven't like seen him much. Or I'm sad that he's made Zombie Galacti better, if that's true. Because like when you said that, I was like, yes, I remember. Even though I was talking about the before times, and it's like because I was already still seeing. I'm like, I want more of it. All right. Cool.
Yeah. That is the Zombie Galacti deck. I'll tell you, I don't know how it happened, but as Snap decks on Twitter, like half of my feed is Japanese Marvel Snap. Probably because I repost them sometimes. Cool. Zombie Galacti is huge over there. I would say possibly bigger than Mr. Negative, but it feels like the same sort of deck to me.
I feel like it's definitely more fashionable than Mr. Negative. Even, I don't know. Mr. Negative's also pretty hot right now, at least where I'm getting matched up.
It's a little bit sneakier because it can come down on the last turn. And I'll tell you, I am surprised by how often Zombie Galacti surprises me. Like, it does a whole animation when the match starts, but apparently sometimes I'm not watching that. And I'm also not catching the green aura around my opponent's cards. And all of a sudden, they're doing Wong Shuri and Zombie Galacti, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was a Galacti deck.
I had the similar experience at first, but I feel like my performance against Zombie Galacti decks has really improved as my ability to recognize them and just paying more attention, like just being more aware of the threat has really helped. Because like the first couple days of the new popularity of Zombie Galacti, they were sneaking up on me 100% of the time. But like once I started to notice them, it became a lot easier to thwart them or retreat for 1 or 2 cubes.
In some ways, it feels even more embarrassing than like not noticing an echo. But I agree with you. Having been surprised by it a few times, I hope that now I'm better at detecting the patterns. Like, oh, Wong Shuri probably means Galacti. Maybe I can look and see if I can detect any infectious
glowing
around
cards.
Yeah. Anyway, it feels like a very similar deck to me.
If you don't have tech to stop long, then you kind of
you retreat before they snap. Hopefully,
that's what I'm saying. You just retreat.
It's why I think it's a very Mr. Negative deck. Like if it does its thing, it's just going to beat you. Like it can go so tall, but maybe you can stop it from doing its thing, or maybe you can get out before they snap.
How many times do you think they're just bluff snapping you, like on turn 2? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, those are the kinds of decks that actually can bluff, right? Like that's one of the very few decks in the game that I think can bluff. And you just have to trust that they mean it. Or you're gonna lose cubes.
On turn 2, are they bluff snapping or are they hope snapping? Because
It's like, do they have the negative?
They play the Ravona. They have the they have the negative in hand.
Like there are certain snaps where like I don't have like all the game plan figured out. Like I don't know what we're doing like all the way till the end, but like
just feel like you're set up for success.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like when the negative player's feeling good though.
Anyway, we're talking about Maverick. I will say, not surprised that I played him a bunch, mostly in Surfer. Not surprised at all that he's good there. I expected him to be very good. I think he was like my third of the ranked number 3 of the season behind the skills. What I didn't know is if he was going to be good outside of Surfer, and I've been surprised how good and flexible he is in other places. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people say he's basically a must-get card. So grab him if you can. We'll move on to Marrow, Series 4 that came out on Thursday. A 2/3, when discarded or destroyed, randomly split negative. The Datamines said -6, but I think it's -7 in the game, right? Do either of you know offhand?
Yeah, it's
randomly split -7 power among enemy cards, putting her on par with Proxima Midnight in many cases. Did either of you get to play her? I haven't been able to play her yet, but I have played against her a few times, and I will say animation very cool, very Killmongery.
Yeah, all that. I got her. Have not played her. It's not because I haven't had a chance to. It's because I think the card is not good. That's why I have not played her. But not the must get card that I would describe Maverick as. You know, like this one is you can get. I'm a fan of Marrow. I've got some just off screen. I've got some X-Men comic books with Marrow in them, but I'm not putting her in a deck. Not right now, anyway. I don't know. Anyone have a more hopeful read on this exciting new card?
No, I don't know when I'll get her.
That's too bad because she's a discard card. I've seen a few people say she's better than they expected. Or that she's better fun. Which to me, like, the way that she would cross that line is if it's good to have the critical mass of having Marrow and Proxima Midnight in the same deck. But the other argument I heard is if you can get Marrow off early, she can ruin some game plans like a Deadpool, for example. But that still seems like a very niche interaction.
That's very niche. That's
doesn't single-handedly make her better than Proxima.
I win every game when my opponent plays Adam Warlock and I Marrow it. Like, were you losing every game to Adam Warlock before?
He's pretty good.
He's fine. He's fine.
No,
I just don't need a specific anti-Adam Warlock hoser card. You know, like it just doesn't. I don't know.
I definitely haven't played enough to make this call, but I would still expect Proxima's the better card. Being able to reach a location that you couldn't otherwise reach seems stronger to me.
And
put it all in one lane.
A meaningful amount there. Whereas
it's the same amount, right?
No, but like a meaningful amount in like one lane. Whereas Marrow is like, I have a couple points here, and like that's not enough to win anything.
Okay, but the one thing you're forgetting is like the nice targetability of it. The thing with Proxima is you're mostly just catching it in a MODOK sweep kind of stuff, because like often there's something higher cost in your hand for targeted discard or lower cost. So maybe you're looking out in a blade. Marrow with Colleen and like the other cards is much more targetable with Silver Samurai than like a Proxima, and that would be the only maybe edge case that she has. You know, I mean, not the only, but like that would be the thing I would think of.
I think I probably was a little low on her, but also
when you rated her, she was -6.
It's true. From what I've seen so far, mostly people are not playing her in Destroy, and I will still be surprised if that ends up being a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about Wild Child and what's the other one? Fastball Special. We'll talk about them next week. Let's get a quick vibe check on Aurora. 6/6 on reveal. Give one of your other on reveal cards at each location +2 power. Repeat for ongoing, activate, and end of turn. Are you excited for Aurora?
I only have 4K tokens, so no.
So you can't be even if you want to be.
Yeah, I'll probably pick her up. It's an interesting card. I want it to be good. It reminds me a little too much of Spectrum. I'm a little worried about that because I don't think Spectrum is a great card.
I think she will have her moments, but she's going to prove to be fairly restrictive, actually, in which decks she's good in. And even then, I don't know how often she's going to be your best turn 6 play.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think she just slots into the end of turn deck, maybe, right? Or is she too costly for that? Because it's like that's where you're combining a lot of those cards already.
I think she could. The challenge is you have to figure out how to play her with Thena, right? Like, if you're playing only her on turn 6, you're not benefiting from Thena's +3, and that is.
But it's about like
that is a deal breaker.
This woman, right? Like it's like is in Jocasta and like what turns you can play those.
Do you think maybe you bring Yellow Jacket for an on reveal that costs 0?
Ooh, I was thinking of Wasp, but Yellow Jacket.
But like Wasp doesn't have any keywords, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or wait, maybe this is a high Evo card. Maybe that's how you get Wasp with keywords, and it's also an end of turn deck. I don't know.
Look at you go. They also have end of turn abilities. The high Evo cards.
That's true. They do. Ooh, maybe that is something.
I'm into it. See, I feel like she lets you think of interesting ways to bind cards rather than that like tribal idea. So I like that about it.
It's definitely a card I want to have in my collection.
Yeah, I've seen people talk about zombies, especially because of Mr. Fantastic having dual abilities. I've seen Thanos because 2 or 3 of the stones have dual abilities, and I've seen what's the other one? Doom 2099. That's the other one. But I really like. My gosh, I can't hold all these ideas in my head at once. What was the one you just said, Ben? High Evo. I really like that call, especially
that's cool.
Now that High Evo just had a bunch of buffs.
They sure did.
Yeah. We'll talk about those in a second. This week we've been playing Team Clash, brand new game mode. Hinted at several times already. What are your thoughts? I don't think we need to cover exactly how the mode works, but broadly there are 5 teams that each have their own ability and 6 cards that have new text and sometimes new stats. It's a lot to learn because it's 5 new team abilities and 30 cards.
30 cards
to learn. I've seen some people turned off by how much that is to learn. Although I don't know, I feel like I absorbed most of it just by playing a few games.
Yeah.
How's it been for you two?
My feelings have certainly changed a bit as I've played it. When I first played, I was a little bit intimidated by all the cards and the team abilities and things, and I think that the people who didn't give it a chance past however the people who formed their first impression and decided it was too much, those people are not wrong. That's a very valid way to feel, and frankly they're kind of asking you for you to feel that way. That's the normal natural response to being confronted with 30 new cards and and it's all for a game mode where you don't even get to snap. I mean, fuck off a little bit, right? I totally get where those people are coming from. I stuck with it enough to find some charm to it, but it's not super balanced, and there's no snapping, and if you hate it, I totally get it, and it's not my favorite either, but it's fine, I guess. That's where I've landed. I think it's fine.
I feel very differently. I feel like this delivers on a fantasy a lot of people have wanted for a long time, which is just to simply be rewarded for playing thematic characters together, for playing the Avengers together and stuff. And a lot of them have been really far apart. And, a lot of the people who are into that fantasy, a lot of them feel like they don't need, there are plenty of people who would be fine. And I like the snap mechanic, and I think it does something for the game, but there's a lot of people who are happy to just win or lose a game flat, you know what I mean? Without the component of snapping. So I think that's interesting to put it. This is the place for it, right? A limited time mode. What gets me is I did feel trapped into it, and that I couldn't run out my tickets, and I did get the season pass because I think I saw I can't keep on top of all of the snap stuff anymore, but I feel like I saw Lauren say you only get the free 15 levels if you had 0 when you got the season pass.
That's a technicality. You get the same amount of XP either way. Yeah. They just wrote it as levels, and it's only 15 levels if you started at 0. If you started higher up, it would be 14 or fewer.
Well, I'm the kind of low information snap player right now that would get mocked mercilessly on the site formerly known as Twitter, probably. Because I was just I don't know. So I went and I picked that up because I looked at the shop, and it's there's 2 premium mystery variants. That's my favorite part of the shop. Oh, new. And then it was okay. And then obviously there was the fastball special card, which seems like a real fun card, think about all the red skulls and typhoid marys you could just cannon launch. I won't say cannonball because that's an actual card, but you know what I mean? You could just lob.
Never stopped any
launch.
You could just eject from your side of the board and be get out of here, red skull. Go be 15 power for me. Okay. Anyway, so and I was who knows how much time I'll have to play the mode. So I went ahead and got it. It was less than a variant. Whatever. So I picked that up, and now I just I just can't run myself out of tickets. And then I feel I should, because they're a regenerative thing. And it meant I kept playing even after I'd done all the missions and stuff, and where it wasn't even feeling good. But I was I don't have fastball special yet. I don't have all these other rewards yet. And I would just rather be trapped here than go look up and put new information into my brain right now about how I should do this mode. Anyway, so that's my complaint with it. But as I think there should be, I think for people who love Marvel, plenty of people who are playing this game, the draw was Marvel, and the snappiness and easiness to get into of the card game kept them in, and they want the fantasy of playing cards and being able to deck build with that, even if it's not the best deck in the world. And I'm kind of just sad I haven't gotten to play with that and been as much and be here's my thematic deck, because I just didn't have as much time. So I'm much more up on the mode than maybe some of you.
Yeah. I like the mode. Currently, I would consider it my least favorite of the modes that I like. With high voltage and high voltage overdrive being modes that I do not like. I think it's fun. I do agree with you that the faction element is something that's important to a lot of people. And if it's going to be in the game, personally, I want it contained into its own game mode instead of making it over to ranked. I'm okay if there's some sort of pseudo factions in ranked, like there are archetypes, or there's the high evo, the way that those interact, or I'm fine with that.
Robots does mean activate.
Right. Love that. But I don't want to limit deck building by introducing faction abilities that are too strong that it hurts decks that aren't on that.
Yeah.
And so I think a mode is a perfect way to introduce those abilities. I agree. It's there's this weird tension where it's removing snaps and adding factions. These are things that make it more casual friendly. But then, hey, learn 5 new abilities and 30 new cards is something that is not casual friendly.
And also learn which characters are ancillary reserve members of whatever team. That's
the collection filter is pretty good.
I didn't play it like that.
Bug your game out.
Yeah.
I just started loading the precons. Like, I looked at the X-Men and I was just like, I can't. Like, and then I was just like, I just jumped in and then I read them as they came up. Because, like, what do I care? I was trying to get rid of
my approach.
Tickets. But also, aren't the X-Men so hard? They were the hardest. I could win with, like, everything else. But the X-Men, I could just not. I couldn't even. What the hell is that deck? Make it work.
From what was set, so they did an OTA to balance the precons and some of the cards, just like 2 days after the mode started, which was awesome. Like, they learned something from Grand Arena, or no, it was 1 day after the mode started. Because the reality is, the player base can play way more games in a single day than the entire second dinner team could play in a year, and so they get better balance data. And I love that they were ready to do it early in this event. Whereas for this last Grand Arena, they did it with like 2 days to spare. So hopefully the precons are better now. The X-Men deck is really fun if you learn how to play it. But like, that's part of the thing, is hard to learn how to play it. It just barely clicked for me today, where it's like, okay, I want to get 3 down in one location as soon as possible so that I can get Professor X out. And then I'm sitting on tons of energy and I can do something with it. Anyway, cool mode. I don't know. I don't know why it's not clicking for me as much as others. At first, I was losing. I was doing very poorly. I burned through my first set of tickets very fast. And as we've talked about before, the game is more fun when you're winning, even if you're not a super competitive player.
What's your favorite deck?
My favorite deck of the precons. I haven't been playing.
Mine's Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yes. Thunderbolts and Avengers. Good. Thunderbolts and Avengers were my favorites until the OTA. Guardians is really fun, but I'm not doing great with it. That's like the deck that I'm having a disproportionate amount of fun relative to how well I'm performing.
Okay. I hate to like ever be a troll, but I have been getting fun out of like infuriating Guardians players by them not being able, like, there's one game and they could not get, there's been like 3 games they've played where they could not guess a single time where I would play and match me up and whiffed on literally everything, and I'm just like
yeah, that's my goal when I'm playing against Guardians. It's like
you came around, like
you can't
when
see
Guardians whiff, that's like real bad. That's real bad for them.
Yep.
I miss Sanctum with all the Guardians still in it.
Do either of you have any of the any favorites? I know it's only been a few days, but like of the like new cards or abilities that like you almost wish were in the game, the core game.
I didn't mention the stuff that I have been playing and that I do like. I really like playing the spider frenemies. In fact, since the balance update, they're much better. Agony at 1 cost is makes a big difference. Also, that was the team where I was trying to do custom stuff, and before the balance update, my custom stuff was better than the regular precon, except the thing is, I don't have Man Spider, and I thought about getting Man Spider just to make the best version of the Spider-Verse deck.
He is like the big payoff card for that.
That's the thing. Since they like updated the things, now it's just better for me to play the precon Spider-Verse deck than play any version of it without Man Spider, because Man Spider is so good in that deck because of all the merges and stuff, and just you can really get crazy with the Cheese Whiz. So that's what I'm about.
Oh, I wish they would perma-change Bucky. It's so much more interesting that you can only play him at a place you're losing, but he's like a 2/6, right? And I'm like, when I was playing, I'm like, I've never played Bucky so much, like since like, I don't know, early
2/8.
days.
He's a
guy. I was gonna say I've never seen him with 6 power. I've seen him with larger numbers.
Okay, well, numbers, whatever.
You're good. Yeah, with the Thunderbolt's ability, he's basically always a 2/9 at least. My favorite card in the mode is Team Clash Doctor Strange. He is a 2-cost
Okay,
that
that's
pulls
cool.
an on-reveal ability to him and then repeats it. So it's kind of Grandmaster-ish, but in reverse.
I thought he was taking a bite out of Wong's cake, you know?
I think that's why he's like that, yes. But like mechanically, it feels more like Grandmaster to me. Like move the card and then make it do its ability again. And there's some really cool things you can do with that. My favorite is proccing Shang twice, which is a very sandcastle kicking thing to do, especially by my standards. But
Okay,
there's a lot of cards in this
Yeah.
mode that go
Thing to
tall.
do.
Shang has been very good for me in this mode.
and if you're just playing the pre-con Avengers deck, it's fun to like frustrate a Guardians player because you play Hawkeye and they think they know where you're going to play the card, but then you
You're
just
such
play
a troll.
Strange somewhere else. Okay. Anyway.
I think that's my favorite. Gamora killing a card is very cool, although it's been really hit and miss for me if she destroys something that's worth more than 4 power. And if she doesn't, it would be better to just have basic Gamora, you know? Yeah, I think those two are the highlights for me. That I would actually like to see be real abilities. I think I want to see Vision go to a 4-cost also. His ability makes so much more sense if you have multiple turns for him to do it, right? Like
that's always been like my issue with. I've never been excited about like I just can't bring myself to play the card even when it's good and like justifiable. I hate that like the text box is so frequently just unfulfilled.
It's such
You know,
a
like,
bad
it's just
text
not
box
living
for a
up to its
5-cost
potential.
card. What?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. Like it's not rational, but like I've felt very vision averse this entire time playing the game.
Well, I will have and Rhea and Ben, I'd invite you to also if there are decks that you're loving. But we'll have a few of our favorite Team Clash decks in the show notes or video description. I'm playing an Avengers deck from Smiles, an X-Men deck from Bones that's like a high Evo deck that's been really cool. And then my own, I started with Scott's Thunderbolt Sarah tech deck, but it had leader and it just felt too expensive. So I've kind of lowered the curve on Sarah tech. But I have enjoyed that deck a lot too. So I'll have a few in there if you're interested, if you're looking. Anything else on Team Clash? Okay. The OTA that affected Team Clash did also change Adamantium Infusion. It wasn't in the notes at all. It sounded like it was an accident. Adamantium's text didn't change, but it now banishes first and then revives a card. So you can play it in the 4th location. Yep. The downside to this is some people were doing Adamantium Infusion to revive like a Carnage or Venom, and then it destroys Adamantium Infusion, and Firehair does a revival also. You can't do that anymore because the revival happens after Adamantium Infusion banishes. So it's has some pros and cons, but I think it's probably a good change in the long run to make the card less disappointing when you put it in a full lane. Okay. We are going to briefly go through Thursday's OTA because it's a few days old and we have Datamines to go through. So first up, Victoria Hand and Quinjet both take a hit to their power. Just one. 2/3 to 2/2 and 1/2 to 1/1.
Okay, this is my kind of one little short spiel is that when I saw this one, I do think it's justified because I've seen it, but thinking about how much Victoria Hand I've seen around, I think about how bummed out I am at the promise of Victoria Hand disappointing me, because when she was gonna come out, I was all excited because I love the improvisation of shield cards. I love messing with that, or even something that's more toned down like Mirage or something that's limiting yourself to their deck. But then it turned out the single most powerful thing to do with Victoria, therefore the thing everyone will do, is to just copy her over and over. Hope you draw her and then copy, because then she'll just power and then you just have a bunch of super powerful Victoria Hand clones running around. So the decks, it does still have a little bit of randomness, but it's mostly geared toward trying to do that as the strongest thing you can do. And that's just kind of a bummer for me as to what I was hoping from her.
Yeah. Valid. It's also a good point. Like those decks are generally trying to make lots of Victoria, so one hit to her is actually like 2 to 4 negative power to the entire board.
Kinda, yeah. That's true.
I don't know. She still gets huge.
Yeah, I think she's been way too good. I think she's still too good. That's what I think.
Yeah. I hope that they keep her at 2, even if they have to nerf her again. I think it would change the identity of the deck too much if she was a 3, but maybe that would actually put her closer to Rhee's vision of the deck. Right? Made her harder to copy.
3? That'd be so weird. Do you think if she were a 3, she'd be friends with Esme Cuckoo and a silly surfer?
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet she eventually goes to 3. Like, right? Like, I bet, now that you said it, I'm like, that's what they're going to do to her. It's where everyone ends up.
Yeah, they could make her a 3 or a 4 with a bigger power buff, and then it's like, she's not there to buff herself. She's there to buff your other cards.
Also, I'm loving this Quinjet nerf. Nerf it into the fucking ground. I don't give a shit.
It has so much upside. Yeah.
Also, it's a plane. It's not even a character. It's like, I don't know.
Not a
same
skill,
logic
so
with
it's a
Cerebro.
character.
Nerf
It's
it to death.
Anthropomorphic, though. It's cute.
Okay. Is it anthropomorphic? I don't know if even.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
No,
do we
but
have
the variants make
one?
it feel that way now, Yeah.
That's how Helicarrier
Also,
is.
It's neither here nor there, but when the pop-up shows up in the game to tell you what changed in the OTA, this one, like, thinks Quinjet is 2 words. And I'm like,
oh.
What's a Quinn? What's a Quinn?
Yucky.
I don't know.
Yeah. Now you have me thinking about the etymology of that word. Like, does it have 5 jets?
I don't know. I'm sure there's an answer. Like,
or it's named after someone. I feel like I should know this, and I've heard it before, and I can't remember.
In the Avengers, like, counterpart to my Spider-Man: The Ultimate Guide, I'm sure they go deep on the Quinjet. It's probably a cross section, show you all the compartments and doohickeys and things.
You see a lot of Quinjets in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They often travel by Quinjet. Okay. They buffed a bunch of vanillas. Misty Knight goes 1-2 to 1-3. Shocker 2-3 to 2-4. Cyclops 3-4 to 3-5. Hulk 6-12 to 6-14.
I mean,
I like Haivo.
Haivo buff. And that's it.
That's ultimately what it is. Yeah. These are not big enough numbers to make them fit in Patriot.
Which really makes you feel like Haivo must have been pretty underpowered before that, like every card. I guess you never play with all of them, usually.
Nope.
Okay.
And you almost never see Shocker.
Nope.
Yeah. Haivo's been on an interesting journey.
I see Shocker.
Oh, yeah. It used to be so popular and so strong, they nerfed a bunch of the cards. And they haven't been reverted, right? Like, Hulk used to buff in your deck. Thing could hit one thing 3 times. Wasp used to be a -2. And it's just like, they've hit them a bunch and never returned them. Do you have any thoughts about Wasp, Thing, and Abomination not being buffed along with the rest?
I mean, they buffed Thing at some point recently already, and Abomination got a buff a while ago. So I think that's what that's about. Also, I would just like to plug the wonderful video that you and Scott did for 4th Location, where you talked about the OTA, and I thought Scott had some really good observations about how the team at Second Dinner has been thinking about these vanilla cards and talking about them, and how it hasn't been entirely consistent throughout. So
yeah,
anyway,
we
check that
covered,
out if you haven't yet.
We covered the vanillas quite a bit. Okay, and then a bunch of cards got a 1 power buff. Colossus, Cable, Iron Fist, Airwalker, Master Mold, Joaquin Torres, and Doom 2099. And also sort of Wade Wilson. He didn't get a power buff directly, but now the one cost that he pulls when he's destroyed gets a +2 buff instead of a +1 buff.
Just the better kind of buff for him. This kind of card. Okay, I just want to say I'm actually hype about Colossus because I've long thought, I'm like, Colossus is such a great Namora pillar. And now it's like, it's, I want to mess with it.
I feel kind of neutral about the Colossus thing. Like, I'm happy for Colossus, but I'd be happier for Colossus if they just reworked him and made him good. But you know what I don't like? I don't like buffing Cable. That's not good. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not buff Cable. Hey, you know who deserves to be a 2/4? Colleen Wing. How is Cable a 2/4 and Colleen Wing's a 2/3? That's some old horse shit is what that is.
I'm with you.
Colleen has bigger upside. Let's be real.
Then
but
Cable,
also, I would rather see discard in the meta than see mill.
Yeah, that's also what I'm saying. I'm saying just like no matter how you slice it, Colleen should still be a 2/4 and Cable should have stayed at 2/3. Like that ability's like good. Let's not forget that like people have played this card for that ability. Like it's kind of the copycat thing. I don't like 2/4 Cable. Get out of here, 2/4 Cable. You're trouble. I'm calling it now.
I was likewise surprised. Like really?
Yeah, that was the one that surprised me the most. Rapid fire thoughts on some of these. Colossus, I don't think needs to be reworked. I just think needs a different stat line, and I don't think 2/4 is it. Friend of the pod, Ironcloak, did point out it's now a Valkyrie friend, but honestly, it's the same level of Valkyrie friend as Angela. So like
barely a Valkyrie friend.
Yeah, whatever. Iron Fist, great. Love seeing that go to 1/3. Match Ghost Spider. I'm in favor of hitting
it's
like
overdue.
I'm in favor of hitting the move scalers like they did for Human Torch and making these enablers like maybe possibly good enough to be used in other decks too. I think Iron Fist and Ghost Spider are both sneaky cards to fit into not move decks. Joaquin Torres, I think that point of power actually matters quite a bit. It's a 50% increase in power. He's a good card. I know like Master Mold got the same buff, but that's still not a real card except for in that one very specific deck. And then Doom 2099, I don't think it's enough to make him too strong, and I hope it's not enough to make him too strong. I did not like the when that was a popular card.
I don't like this at all. This is another one that does not. We don't need to be pushing Doom 2099.
Especially when we have cards like Aurora and Moondragon that we'll be talking about later that like already are buffs to that deck. Maybe. And then finally, Wade Wilson. I want to know, do you guys think this is enough to make him a Deadpool card?
No, I think he's still too slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a bit with him, but like not fully enough to get full consensus on the card. And he does need a buff, but I still think finding a card still feels, especially Deadpool. I don't know. I'm gonna try it more.
I think this might be enough.
It might be. I don't know. I confess, I just don't want it. I'm not interested in having to worry about all three stupid Deadpools. Like the fewer Deadpool cards I have to hold in my mind, the happier I'll be. But no, this might make him relevant. I would just prefer that it didn't.
Yeah, it's some interesting tension because like if you make him good enough that like Deadpool is the clear best target, you start cutting other ones from the deck to make sure that you pull Deadpool.
Yeah, consistency is key.
And maybe it's just a different flavor of that deck. Okay, we had a patch. It came with Datamines. We are going to talk about the February cards, which is a Guardians of the Galaxy season. I don't know if either of you have had time to look at these already, so maybe they will be
I've had
surprises.
Look, some months I do not, but this time I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I think it's more interesting if we're all at different levels with these. Okay, first up, season pass card: Star-Lord, Master of the Sun, a 4/5 on reveal. Next turn, you get +1 energy for each turn you've ended with unspent energy. Another high Evo buff. Like, is this why they're buffing the vanillas now? I think maybe yes. I think this card feels slow compared to other energy cards like Hope Summers, but maybe good enough if your plan is already to be skipping energy anyway.
Yep.
Kind of at odds with Warlock, which is strange.
Yes, I was going to say, you don't want to play them together exactly.
Because ideally you're playing Star-Lord on turn 5 by himself.
Yeah. You think that's the best, you want to play him on turn 5 so that you've got your one, he's gonna count, because the thing happens next turn, so it's going to count that turn 5, right?
Right.
When you play
so then
him.
Maybe you're getting like 3 to 4 extra energy.
All right. Yeah. I feel like it's good to get all the energy at once on the same turn. I think I like this card. I'm tentatively, I'm a believer.
Okay, I was just remembering, because I was watching you paste this into show notes, and when I saw this card appear, I immediately heard the song Daylord from It's Always Sunny. It's called Master of the Sun. I don't know. It just felt like that kind of thing.
Card with a theme song.
Yes. Okay. No, it's not Daylord, it's Dayman. I combined it in my head.
Yeah, I knew which song you were talking about.
I know, it's funny, people can always tell what I'm saying, even though I vastly butchered it. Okay. No, I'm just glad that they are giving. I've gone on before about how it's just like it has become increasingly not good to skip energy rather than do stuff with that energy. So, here they are addressing that by adding more cards that benefit from that energy. So see.
Okay. Ben, will you read our super premium season pass card?
Is that
next one down? Yeah.
Activate. Copy the text of a character in your deck with cost equal to your unspent energy. Oh, and this is a 3/5. Stat lines are important. I think this is a very interesting card. I don't think I like it. I'm not excited to play it. I am daunted by it. Its complexity is, it just seems very difficult to control exactly, because you want to know exactly what you're getting, right? And so you have a plan, but how do you not draw that card? This is, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just a little too much of a it's a little too Rube Goldberg-y, a little too much of a bank shot. This is just it's too silly, and I have a high tolerance for silliness in cards, and this one is just a little too wacky for me.
Is it a hard G? In my head, I've always said Magus. I'm like, is that wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, and what's the A? Is it Magus or Magus? I
don't know.
I can live fact check that while you tell me what you think.
No, I hate it. That's
encounter in my everyday life.
I feel like if I did it, I'm mostly trying to copy one cost or something easy, but no, I don't want to have to add all that up, and then you're deck building first,
But this one is a Warlock friend, so there is that.
The cost, and it's not necessarily on reveal. I hate it. I don't want to play with it. It's too much to think about.
Isn't it? It is too much. That's my feeling.
That's where I'm at.
I have several. It's Magus.
Magus.
By the way, Magus, long A and a hard G.
Magus.
Scott brought up an interesting question about this card. So Magus is an alternate universe version or an evil version of Adam Warlock, right? Magus is also a different Magus, is Warlock, new X-Men.
But they're confused because this one's got clear synergy with
This looks like
Warlock.
a Warlock ability.
Yep.
Like, this looks related to Warlock. Did they mix up Adam Warlock and Magus and Magus? Maybe. Okay. Second thing. Do you read this as your total unspent energy or your unspent energy this turn?
It's this turn.
I read it this turn.
That's how I read it too, but I've seen people read it the other way.
It has to be that.
I
Because
think
how are
those
they
people
expecting
are
you to
wrong
like
and
mentally
confused.
track all
Yep.
your unspent energy?
Okay.
No way.
Agreed. So, there are some interesting things to consider with this card. Number 1, activate means it can be a Jocasta card. Number 2, my favorite use of it, if it's same turn unspent energy, is Mjolnir. You have 0 unspent energy. You put Thor or Beta Ray Bill,
And then you know that it'll
and
be in the deck.
immediately hit them.
I like that a lot.
I don't know if it's enough to make them a real deck, but it's cool.
Could
like
you do
it.
it with Beta Ray Bill? Because like doubling is better than plus 6ing.
Yeah.
Yes, you could do it with Beta Ray Bill, and also that makes the curve play nicer. So,
Well, you brought, except for it still activate. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, but that could be a strength in this situation.
But you want to be playing Thor on 3. You want to be playing Beta.
Maybe you want to be playing Beta Ray Bill.
Ray Bill Beta.
Does Stormbreaker cost 1?
It's a 0.
It's a 0
no, it's a
also.
0 cost. Yeah.
Okay. See, that just tells you how much Beta Ray Bill I'm out here playing.
I think it's a 0-3.
I like trying to.
Or maybe a 0-1.
Maybe the most thematic. Like we were talking about Clash, but the Thors are the most. I feel like thematic, existing, cohesive. Like goes together. You know, for Asgard.
Yeah.
It's a 0-3.
So this seems like a Beta Ray Bill card, right?
I know what you're wondering. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't want to be playing it. So I would prefer if it was on reveal because I'm expecting to play it later unless it's cheaper and I can get it out before I'm playing Thor or Beta Ray.
Yeah. Well, is there something about going Magus on 3, Beta Ray Bill on 4, activate? Is there something about that doesn't work for you? Because that sounds like a great play line to me.
I think it's good.
Because like you just stick right to the curve, you're not even wasting energy. It's just like
yeah, okay.
they're tight.
And you know for sure it's in your deck.
Yeah, it's like it's foolproof.
He's capital C cost, which makes me think he wouldn't work with, say, Mr. Negative.
Something that had been reduced to
But also they messed up all the lowercase and capital C's in the last Spider-Verse season.
Okay.
So I don't know if I trust them.
I also don't know.
Here's what I would prefer, though, for the Thor's deck, is if it was a lower cost, so I could get it out ahead of those, and it could be like and it was a lower power, so it would be a Red Guardian buffer for Thor or Beta Ray Bill, because they're
like
always like... Yeah, because sometimes those decks are like higher stat, where sometimes Thor is your first thing in a lane, but that leaves them vulnerable. So, like, that's what I want. This card feels like it's butting into my Thor time.
If they Red Guardian your Thor or your Beta Ray Bill, they still get the stuff. The text is on the hammers.
They don't really care about the Red Guardian. I mean, it hurts.
Beta Ray Bill does for affliction.
Reduced power. Yeah. Like, Mjolnir still does its thing even if Thor loses his text.
But sometimes you're trying to, like...
Lockjaw, you have to worry about
repeat the Thor, the Beta Ray Bill, like, frigate them.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Like,
Yeah,
occasionally you're trying to double up on it, you know?
Yes, it would ruin a frigate plan. Okay, moving on. With the first week Series 5 card.
Oh, Moondragon is cool. I keep, like, looking up her character to get a backstory straight, and I'm like, okay, now I have it straight. And then 3 months later, I've forgotten it again.
Yeah.
She's Drax's daughter and Martyr's wife, and at some point is, like, possessed by the Dragon of the Moon.
But there's also, like, 2 Moondragons. I don't know. Okay, I give up already. It's like the Kingdom Hearts narrative. I'm just never going to keep it all in my head. All right. End of turn. Oh, she's a 2/2. End of turn, +2 power if you played 1 card this turn and spent all of your energy. Oh, she's a ramp card, huh?
She's a
Wiccan?
A Doom 2099 kind of card.
Huh. Like a ramp Wiccan kind of deal. I'm intrigued. You know, she feels very narrow. Like there's definitely a deck build around her, but like maybe ramping is usually okay to do. So we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, like Electro's no downside if this is the way, if this is your deck that you're building anyway.
Yeah.
I think she's good. I think
for sure.
if she only gets to 2/6, that's good enough, right? And she can get bigger. You don't think 2/6 is good enough?
2/6 is not good enough. No.
Oh, well, I'm surprised you think that she's good then, because end of turn, that means you have to get her out early.
Well, are you doubling up on your end of turns and stuff? You're probably playing Invisible Woman in this deck.
I don't know about that, because then you have the Athena problem again.
2-10. That's what I think.
No, I think she can hit 2/8 and 2/10. I just don't think she needs to. I think you're fine if she hits 2/6.
I mean, you don't concede if it looks like she's going to finish at 2/6 or anything, but I don't think you put her in the deck with the expectation that 2/6 is enough. I don't know.
Okay.
Thena, do we like Thena when she's 2/6? I don't think so.
Well, so that's where I'm I don't think she belongs in an Invisible Woman for Steps deck, because you're missing out on Thena.
I think it's obviously one or the other, because those two do not mix. But I mean,
if you put Invisible Woman for Steps in a Doom 2099 deck,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay.
So I think she gets bigger than 2/6, and I think she is good.
The next week's Series 5, Drax, a new flavor of Drax, because that's what we were all missing in our lives.
Just
Drax, Avatar of Life, a 4/4. He has a gigantic flowing cape and a belt buckle with a skull on it. Cool looking guy. End of turn, +4 power if your opponent played a card with greater power this turn. Move to that card if you'd be winning this location. Or sorry, if you'd be winning its location. Moves to your enemy's card if it would swing.
So weird.
Location. It's a funky card. It's a funky.
You don't move to a card under any circumstances.
Yeah, it's like a ghost spider, except she pulls herself over, she's grappling. I don't know. It's Captain Marvel, kinda. Oh, I'm supposed to talk about what I think about it. I think this card is cool. He can do the end of turn ability on his turn, and the turn you play him, possibly 2 turns after that. You could involve Invisible Woman for Steps. Maybe that's more of the Doom 29 slow version of it. Maybe you play him with his daughter Moondragon in the same deck. But that's pretty big, right? If he gains 8 power, 12 power, and he only moves if he's going to win the location. Mm-hmm. If not, you get to keep all that power in his current location. He will also lose you games by leaving a location where he was a critical piece. True. But he's only doing that if he's flipping another lane. So I think it's probably okay. Oh,
I like the theminess of it.
But can you count on your opponent
to
be playing bigger things every turn?
No, but if they're not playing something bigger than a 4,
well, I'm just considering this from the point of view of, say, a surfer deck / player. I'm playing things smaller than Drax all the time, and if I do happen to play one large buffed up Brood or Captain Carter, that's fine. You can have your big 4/8 Drax. Woohoo! Good luck with that.
Fair. Yeah, he struggles with small card decks. I just thought about something. He says move to that card if you'd be winning its location. Does that mean he'd move even if you were already winning that location?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something.
He just swoops in to claim the victory.
Yeah, he gets the credit for the victory that you already had.
It's probably good enough to go in some kind of end of turn deck, but I think there's something clunky here about this design, like, that makes me not want to play it.
Yeah. I'm really interested if that second sentence is like misleading and he would only move if he swings the location.
Well, it's written so, like, I bet they're going to rewrite it at some point, because you don't move to cards. That's just not a thing that any other card does.
I don't think that they're changing that. That's new. That's what he does. He moves to where your opponent played something.
He moves to a location. He doesn't move to a card.
I see what you're saying. I don't trust them to catch that templating.
Oh, there's a fucking wonky ass on reveal coming in a minute. Starhawk. That's not an on reveal, kids. We'll get there when we get there. Okay. We'll get there when we get there.
Any other thoughts on Drax? We didn't really do that one in order, and that's fine. It was a conversation. Ben, with Major Victory.
Major Victory. On reveal. Oh, this is a 3/4, by the way. 3/4. On reveal, add 2 members of the Guardians crew to your hand. Not clear which members of the Guardians crew are.
Right. What does that mean?
Yeah. Does
for all we know, these are like unique generated. For all we know, these are Kate's arrows. Yeah, like, who knows?
I think. Do you think that?
Well, I think maybe it's alternate Yondu or something, or like, like maybe it's like Guardians that don't have their own card, or maybe it's, from a list of Guardians. Maybe it's from this season. Maybe it's from since the beginning of time. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a list of Guardians.
My two leading theories are it's either the 6 main ones that are in the Team Clash Guardians deck, so the ones that get the +4 power plus Mantis, or it's every card that's in the Guardians faction from Team Clash. Like, this is them bringing factions into the main game.
I want it to be like Thieves' Tools or Arrows. That's what I want it to be, because that would make the card better and more. It would just it. I don't think it's a real card if it does any version of the other thing. Well, maybe, I don't know. Like, Coulson, does he give you 2? He gives you 1.
You know what the costs are. He gives you 2. He gives you a 4 and a 5. This is a very Coulson-ish card. But he could give you a 1 and a 5 or 2 1s, right? Like,
this is just, I just don't see it. Yeah. If it's not Thieves' Tools, I don't see it.
I like a card that gives you more cards. I just talked about liking shield cards, but we'll see. Like I said, this is hard to say that it's not going to be a lot worse than a Coulson. Was immediately what I was thinking, and really now it depends on like what counts as Guardians.
Wait, you know what I mean? Live fact check. I just thought to check the page on SnapFan.
Yeah,
they actually have the references here. It's the 6 main Guardians, and that's it.
Oh, yeah, then it's honestly not going to be any better. No. When you'd rather just play Coulson or stuff if you're trying to gen random cards. Even in a Guardians deck, I don't know that you want to play this, to be honest.
No. And you know what's cool about Guardians when your opponent knows they're coming? Nothing. They're even worse. You're announcing that, like, I'm gonna be playing Guardians now.
I don't. When do you play this instead of Coulson? Right? You could put it in a Guardians deck. Maybe you're running Jean Grey. Maybe you're running Victoria Hand and Quinjet. But that is just worse than a regular ass Victoria Hand or Devil Dino deck.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I hope they change it to do Arrows / Thieves' Tool. I hope they give some real. Yeah, wow. This card's bad.
Datamined has a limited time event card, so it's probably Series 4. Maybe it is just a bad, goofy, weird card. Ree with Kraglin.
Okay, Kraglin is a 3 cost with 2 power. This says, on reveal, banish the top card of your deck. If it was a 4 cost or higher, +2 energy next turn. Otherwise, give this +4 power. And I was sitting here looking at it. I don't like it that much. much. I feel like, I don't know. It's a ramp card, right? So that's the way you play. Because normally when I think about banishing the top card of my deck, I think about a card I want to play late when maybe I know there's a big, thing to kill in the deck, like a red skull I didn't draw or something, if I'm playing a Surtur deck or whatever, but then you're hoping to get the power from it. And this is something you definitely want to play earlier to get the energy over the card. And then it's like, the +4 power, there are better ways you can get to 3/6. So you're like not super excited to get that unless you're doubling up or something. So, I guess then it's just like, how does this fit in with ramp compared to the other options? Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think you're looking at it the right way. I like, my best thought for this card is like, is this like your backup in a Wiccan deck if Wiccan doesn't show up? Like, because then you don't, like, specifically a
you're maybe killing your Wiccan, right? You're maybe killing off the Wiccan you would have drawn. So it's like, that's why I want to.
What do you mean by? Oh, you're worried about
if you played on 3, what if the next card you were going to draw for turn 4 was going to be the Wiccan you wanted to play? And now you've banished it.
I suppose that's true. In general, though, I am against worrying about banishing the top card of your deck.
I like to worry about it.
I think
it might as well be the bottom card of your
madness. Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think that maybe this is playable in something like that, where like the guarantee of +2 energy, or I guess it's a high chance because it might just be +4 power. High chance of +2 energy.
If you do Quicksilver Domino Wiccan, you can guarantee.
Okay, I like that. The other thing that I can see happening with this card, so this is Sean Gunn's character in the MCU. It's the guy who uses Yondu's arrow after Yondu.
Fun fact, Maxwell Lord is his character in the new DCU.
Oh, Sean Gunn. Okay, I was trying to follow, like, Kraglin's in the DCU.
Yeah.
There's a pretty funny scene in Peacemaker Season 2 with Nathan Fillion and what's her name?
I still haven't seen that. Hear me out, okay? Something that you two may not realize is that in the Datamines, we have 2 Guardians that don't have any abilities or stats. Bug and Yaka Arrow. Yaka Arrow being Kraglin's and Yondu's. So
maybe those are the cards that I hope that
that's what Major Victory generates. Here's my thought. Kraglin and Yondu are both using Banish. What if the Yaka Arrow is a Banish tribal card, like Nicholas Scratch?
I think that's a very reasonable expectation, and I thought, I'm on the same page.
Something like that is the only, like, a card that is benefiting from banishment is the only way I can see Kraglin being a real card, and he's Series 5. So,
they think you're going to do something with him.
I don't see it right now, and it maybe even if Yaka Arrow isn't a banished tribal card, or a typal card, maybe we'll get one of those in the future. Glenn has said we will not be ever reviving things from the banishment pile, but we might have things that like do like a Morbius or a Null or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack Flag, a 3/3 ongoing. Your cards here with increased power have +2 power. He feels a lot like Captain America to me, but more flexible. Doesn't have to be an ongoing card, just a card with green power. And also, I think a very cool card to play with Moonstone, because then it would be +4.
That's very interesting.
I feel like...
Oh, no, Reed, go for it.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I feel like that's more where he goes in, like, Moonstone's Spectrum stuff than, like, with Victoria Hand, right? Because I feel like you'd still probably just be, like, copying Victoria Hand and stuff. What were you about?
I know where I would play this card. I would play this card in Silver Surfer.
Yeah, okay. Yep, yeah. That's the place.
Like,
Yep.
let's go back to the Maverick discussion. Maverick likes this card. Maverick likes being
There
told
you
that his number is higher than it. Like, he'll pass this on to somebody else.
yeah.
Captain Carter likes this card.
Okay.
Maverick
Yeah,
likes
you're
Captain
right.
Carter and this card. Oh, if we're all hanging out in the same lane, oh baby, something's getting big in another lane. I tell you what.
Yeah, this card's real.
Yeah, this card
Yeah.
is very real. Like this is like, what if Captain America fucking, kicked ass.
You're so right. How did we miss the surfer of it all?
It's a 3. It's obviously a surfer. Kraglin's a surfer.
I don't know about Kraglin.
Major Victory's a surfer.
I'm not saying, I'm not vouching for Kraglin and Surfer. Not even a little bit. 2-6. 3-6, like that.
I'm just being
3-6
silly,
is nothing.
3-6 is decent, but
3-6 is nothing.
It's not.
They could make Cyclops 3-6, and I still wouldn't give a shit.
Okay, one more, Ben.
Starhawk 2-2. End of turn. On odd turns, give you. Oh wait, no. On reveal. No, I don't know why I wanted to play like it was, but no.
What a cruel joke.
Okay, here's what it does. On reveal, on odd turns, give your cards at the left location +1 power. On even turns, give it to the right location. Is this really an on reveal?
You guessed end of turn, but to me, I think activate is also a possibility.
Like, wow.
No, I think
guess
they're
maybe
just.
it could. Is this card just?
They're saying this is a possible 2-6, right? And unless you're doubling it up, and then it just depends where it goes on the turn level it is, which makes it way worse.
Something about it just made me think it has to be like every turn, right? Like it has to.
That would be a good card. That would be too good of a card.
That would be a. Well, would it? I don't know.
It would be better than.
Did you see that they took new Shang-Chi up to 3-5 in this patch?
They also changed Shang-Chi so the first level of rings is on reveal instead of end of turn.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's what
big
that's
hit.
Okay. This 2-6. I mean, like obviously you're hoping like one of the maybe is this also a surfer card? Or are we hoping that Maverick and Captain Carter are already in position on one of these lanes?
Put them in your left lane, play him on 5.
Yeah, I guess maybe this card maybe it really is on reveal. I don't know. I think
it is.
I think it's too strong if it's end of turn. I think activate would be okay.
I think it's bad as an on reveal.
But you don't want to play it early. You have to play it late. Like I guess it wants. I guess it's cool in Sarah or something. But like, don't you want to be like solving big problems with cheap tech in Sarah's? I don't know.
I generally dislike a 2 that you don't want to play early.
I also dislike a 2 that you don't want to play early.
And when I first read it, I thought it was I misread it as an end of turn in my head. Like, oh, every turn it'll alternate giving.
Yeah, that's like
points.
what I was
and
thinking.
I'm like, oh, what a quirky little card.
That seemed like it had to be the intention.
No, I think this is right, but it just sucks.
You think so?
In the variant, he looks like a dork too. Look at him.
Yep. Can I tell you about this card? I looked up the theme of this card. Starhawk is a husband and wife merged together in a single body, and also adoptive siblings. But a husband and wife who share a body, and generally speaking, only one of them has control at a time. So I think. Maybe it's kind of a cool ability that every turn it does something different. That's the husband and wife swapping control.
That's cool. An effort.
That's the coolest thing I can say about it.
Design. I don't.
Of course,
does he always look like a dude though?
I have no idea. Yeah, when the body completely transforms when she takes control, I have no idea.
I mean, does this go in an Aurora deck with some?
Oh.
No
activates maybe there's a kind of lane that you're building in your. I'm just trying to make this card good. I
don't like it.
I'm not convinced. Maybe it is. I really I don't know.
I like buff cards. Oh, I forgot to say I loved about Clash. I still play Toxie. She's like a permanent fixture in my party buffs deck now, and I was psyched to see her in Clash. That's one of the reasons I love Thunderbolts. Okay.
What about Starhawk with Jack Flag? You're spending 5 energy on that, but then it's +3 to an entire location. Like to each card.
I want to be a meme. Like, stop trying to make Starhawk a thing, Lauren.
I like it, Lauren. Maybe this card is fine as an on reveal. I don't know. Like, how many good hits can you get in? And I mean, maybe you want to build. I don't know. Like, but the +1 power, it does seem like not enough. I'm like thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool to buff Sebastian Shaw and Scarlet Spider? Wow, you got a total of 3 extra power out of including those 2 cards in a lane, and like that's not enough extra stuff to. I don't know.
And it's like a 2-7 or 2-8 or something. That's not atrocious.
No, I have the same enthusiasm for it that I have towards sad films about a couple's sad marriage that's ending. Just like, nah, but it's just gonna be a bummer though, right?
I know the films you're talking about, and I also have not found the time for them.
How are we talking about Starhawk this long? Anyway,
right.
On to our side quests. First up, and only this week, secret homework. I assigned it inspired by Team Clash. I asked you to create a thematic deck that used at least 6 cards from the same team or genre or whatever. It was meant to be open-ended. And then fill in the rest of the deck. I built a deck where all 12 of them match the theme.
Oh, nice.
Perhaps surprising nobody. The theme is A-Force, which is sort of a all ladies Avengers sort of team. And I think the only major A-Force character who is, or the only even minor one, I think the only A-Force team member who's missing from the game is my single favorite Marvel character, Singularity. She is darling, a little pocket dimension that reminds me a lot of like Teen Titans cartoon Starfire.
Oh, she has such cute variants.
Yes, she is a darling character. Anyway, I really hope she gets added to the game eventually. There are some other like niche A-Force, but they'd be like variants. Like Dazzler in this universe is actually a Thor. And Valkyrie also is a Thor. And Gamora's a Thor. There's a bunch of Thors. Okay, so here's my deck. Wasp, Loki, Nico Minoru, Ghost Spider, Dazzler, Medusa, Storm. You see, it's not the strongest deck in the world here. Storm, Elsa Bloodstone, Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, Spider-Woman, and She-Hulk. I played it until I won with it without using Loki. The idea is you're going to swing a lane with Valkyrie or a Storm. One of those lanes will get swung. Captain Marvel can help you do that. Elsa Bloodstone can help you do that. The other lane, you just hope that you go big on. Something like Elsa or Dazzler or Spider-Woman or She-Hulk. Things that are just pure power. Medusa's decent power on rate, right? 2/5's not too bad. But we don't have any way to reproc her. So that's my deck. It took, I don't know, probably like 6 games to win with it. The name of my deck is A-Force to be reckoned with, which I thought was moderately.
I love it.
Oh, wordplay!
Okay. That's my deck. It was a fun challenge. Thanks for signing it, Lauren. Ben, what's your theme deck?
My theme deck. All right, so I had some thoughts. My first thought was, of course, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Specifically with evil, when evil was still in the name. But I feel like people expect that from me. But the thing is, I am so fascinated with, the bygone era when the villains used to fucking announce that they were villainous, god damn it. So, I was like, do I go with the Sinister Six? And I'm like, nah, they're going to expect that too much. Everybody knows you fucking love your Spider-Man villains. And I do. And they might be involved in what I did end up with. But I thought back to that first one and how much I love saying the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And there's another pretty major iconic villainous group that keeps coming back again and again in Marvel Comics, and they've got the best name. Well, not quite as good as the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Second only to the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but it's very direct. The Masters of Evil! You'll find that there's a lot of overlap with the optional, the reserve cards that you can play in Thunderbolts right now, because the Thunderbolts were originally just like the fucking sneaky reskin of one of the iterations of the Masters of Evil. That's how they got started. That was the first Thunderbolts, was Baron Zemo's little side hustle. Well, not side. A pivot. I don't know. I read it when I was much younger. I don't remember exactly how the whole thing unfolded, but I do recall in the library. Anywho, with the lead pipe, because Clue. Anyway, but for my Masters of Evil deck, I haven't decided which 6 of these cards are going to be not the cards. I mostly just picked characters for the characters' sake. I didn't expect it to hold together because I intend it to be like a team clash thing where there's some unifying team ability, and half of the cards are made up versions that differ from the real cards. But the members of my Masters of Evil are Black Knight, Baron Zemo, Enchantress, Kang, because one of the Kangs is up in there, Ultron, Claw, Scorpion, Shocker, Absorbing Man, Titania, Yellow Jacket, and Hydro Man. Those are the cards in my Master.
Oh, you have Hydro Man?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about him?
Oh, I'm not playing Hydro Man out here in the world. This is more of this is an art project. For all I know, Hydro Man might be one of the 6 that is totally reworked and has a different ability that's only for Team Clash.
Yeah.
I haven't decided. I'm pitching a hypothetical Team Clash faction.
I got you.
Other thoughts that crossed my mind were Shield, and I also, of course, thought what about Hydra? Except I don't know, kind of a lot of Nazis up in there, and I just wasn't in the mood.
Fair.
But Shield seemed like it would be a fun one, so I hope maybe somebody thought about that.
I hope we do see evil teams in Team Clash, but heroes team up a lot more often than bad guys do. So
they could do the Sinister Six or Syndicate,
which is much
or whatever
more than 6,
they want to do.
Oh yeah. That would be cool to see that versus the Spider-Man decks, to see actual. Yeah, I'm into it. Shall I go now?
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Did you finish?
Okay. Ree, let's hear your homework.
Okay, so my homework, I don't have good excuses. I'm gonna cut off about maybe 2 minutes of planned excuse-making stories. And, say I don't have one because I was reminded multiple times by people. And then, but I was sick earlier in the week, and I was kind of scrambling to catch up on stuff. And it was kind of, for me, it was part of my montage of of Snap kindness that I was I'd been oh no, I haven't done the homework yet, because instead of doing homework, I was weaving in the million ends it took for this cardigan I made so I could look like a space druid on the podcast, because
it's so good.
I was going to bring it up in the outro, but yes, it rules.
It's very good. Audio listeners, you gotta see it. You gotta see it to believe it. It's so good.
Yeah, on our YouTube. Okay. So, but I was talking to Frank, who's the artist on the game and a very good friend, and he was I was thinking about for the secret homework for teams. What if it was West Coast Avengers because he was thinking about my comics corner because I often subvert secret homework to just talk about comics I like. And yeah, and it was like talking about, it's like, I don't know, maybe it could work like Guardians where there's like a sunshine location and you would have like reduced energy to play a West Coast Avengers there or something. But then he said something that I thought that like really struck me because I was so interested in it as a card idea. Because it was like, okay, what if there was like the Kilowatt card and it was a negative power card, but if you fulfilled a condition, like say if you, I think it's actually this of like you filled the space with other West Coast Avengers, it would flip to a positive power. It would become Blue Bolt. And I was just like, oh, that's such a cool idea for a card. If you had a card with negative power, that you could increase its negative power with the idea that later you would fulfill a condition, not using another card to do it, but like built into the card itself to flip it into positive power. Especially if you had the alternate option to just Viper it. I'm like, yeah. I was just like so intrigued by the design space that it like struck me. This was like the interesting thing that I pulled out of secret homework that I wanted to talk about was that like first I'm like, oh, there is still, I was worried because of some of like the kind of oh, this is so mean if I say it, but I already entered my head brain space. But I'm like, some of the card designs that come out feel like AI slop to me. and it's just like, is Marvel's out of design space? They have design space? And it's like, no, look, here's a whole new interesting thing they could be doing. And I'm like, what's the problem? And it's like, I used to feel like every card had some kind of new interesting design space, and it was just a matter of whether that would be good or not. Not whether it was boring or weird or hard to understand or didn't fit anywhere, whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is just the end result. I was looking back. I had been excited or at least been willing to give it a chance for this influx of a bunch of new cards, right, getting released instead of the old slow cadence. Even though it means I'm no longer collection complete, which I had worked hard to get, I'd been willing to look for it. I do think it mitigated a bit the problem of mirror matches in week 1 of a new card release. Because, like, you're not seeing everyone running around playing mirror. There's just too many cards. People are being selective. You will on a big card release day. Card like Arsham releases, you're going to see nonstop that for sure. Overall, it did improve. But on the flip side, I don't think they've taken all the care with the cards they could have. And that can be a real bummer in multiple ways. Like if you've been excited for a Marvel character and it gets released and it's like, blah. Or it could be like Zombie Sentry, which I don't think anyone was super excited for that character. And then it just completely feels like I don't know, just not exciting card. Like it fits into the deck and it's not bad at it, but it's not, I don't know. It used to be every card either had some interesting design space you were looking at, and I think that's the problem, is they just don't have time to put that care into the cards, and therefore we're getting kind of some sloppier designs on some less good cards with the thought that, like, and it's just like, if the idea is just they're going to rework them all later, then, like, it's almost like, or keep adjusting them, then it makes the release not exciting, because it's just like, by the time I get around to playing the card, it'll be different or it'll still be a dead card. I don't know. So just looking on a retrospective of us and like what we thought about this mass release of cards, and I was willing to give it a chance. And overall, I think I find it a little bit disappointing, although I am happy about the less mirrors when that happens. If you guys have any interesting thoughts to share about that, I'd love to hear about how you feel about it.
I'll be super brief and say that I was very distrustful at the beginning of the increased release schedule. The 3 cards a week situation. I thought it was bullshit from the jump, and I think I have been well and thoroughly proven right. That's my feeling. I don't think it's good. I think they should go back to like 1 a week and try harder. That's what I think. Because I do think that some of these designs, they don't feel like whole cards. I think Zombie Sentry was a great example of something that is not really like that's not a whole thing. It
not exciting
as
at
a function
all,
of
right?
the zombie package, and like it's a nothing card. It's got nothing going on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm also now vastly curious. Yeah, Lauren, how do you feel?
I have I'm interested in having a new card every week that's like the main major release, but also having little mini packs of cards release in bundles. I think both for a meta mix-up, and also I think like using limited time game modes as a way to inject some Series 4 cards into the game that are like abilities that are probably like good to have into the game, but like aren't very exciting. Also a way to get through a bunch more Marvel characters faster. Like, I'm in favor of that. I think it needs help. Like, I think it needs some adjustment and all that. And I've definitely I used to feel like I was very on top of every card in the game. And now there are weeks where there are cards I just don't play. And maybe I get like one or two where I play just enough to do the weekend missions and then never play them again. And I mean, it's okay if there's cards that are like in archetypes I'm not going to use or whatever, but often it feels like it's just because I just didn't have the time to try out every new card. So I have no idea what the answer is, just that I have found it hard to keep up.
Yeah, for real. No, same thing where it's kind of a bummer when it's like, oh, I don't have time to keep up and play all the cards I wanted to, as well as do the team clashes and do all of that stuff. And I don't want to knock it as like, too much content for the game, but like, I don't know. Yeah, we definitely can't keep up. And in some ways it skews the meta in different ways than it used to. Okay. All right then. I am assigning next week's homework, and my criteria to myself, and think of the homework where this is a holiday weekend for a lot of people, so I wanted to keep it easy and breezy, especially as someone who didn't completely fulfill last week's secret homework. So, and I always like to hear an interesting story or whatever. So I thought this week, in honor of presents, which are one of my favorite things, about holidays that aren't Halloween, I want you to tell me a toy story. So that can either be, it can be a personal story, it could be an interesting story you found about a toy. In some way, a toy must be involved in the story, in honor of toys being given out frequently at this time of year.
Love it. Well, listeners, if you liked what you heard and you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Even if you're one of those podcast listeners, it still helps us if you come like and subscribe on YouTube. Anyway, rate and review on iTunes or Spotify. Leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or come chat with us in the Speakeasy, our little corner of Discord. It's part of the Snap Judgments League Discord. There are instructions to get into our little secret corner with a handful of channels in the show notes or video description. We are proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network. That's why we're on their Discord, where you can listen to other great shows like Snap Decisions from Joe on Mondays. Special shout out to Joe this week, who he has been doing his podcast much longer than we've been doing ours, and he just made it into the creator program this week.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congrats, Joe.
Well deserved. He's put a lot of work into that. I think this week and this week only, I will plug my new endeavor. Maybe not this week only, but generally speaking, I'm keeping
I'll plug it for you next week.
Well, we're not going to do it every week, but come check out fourthlocation.com. Check us out on YouTube. If you like what we're doing, support us by spreading the word or pitching in some money. Understand if you can't. Totally cool. We appreciate all of you. And with that, find us next week at the same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Yay, good times.
I don't know what to outro about now because I was.
Oh, I do immediately because I forgot. I wanted to shout out to. My weekend Snap, even though it's completely irrelevant. And I was just thinking particularly the amazing mod who moderated a DM adventure for us. LaurenWhatevs Supreme. Okay. No, it was just a cool D&D. I was at like Pathfinder, and because he's probably already heard of this. And my DM for Pathfinder is telling how he had been playing like a game, an RPG game, a TTRPG, where all you did, like the point of the game was to like build a map. And that was the whole, like all the rules around. But the idea was this was the pre-game game, because then you take that map to a different RPG of your choice to do. And I was like, oh, that's amazing, because like I like session zero. I like when people develop their characters together and have a basis. It makes that like initial like role playing less awkward with people. It gives you a way for you to know your characters. It's really hard for me when we just go around and monologue characters and stuff like that. And it's like when people build theirs together and they build in relationships already to like interact with, and and some ties to the world. I've definitely built characters that were completely wrong for the world. I've discovered, and it's just like, that's so clever. It's like when you want to, like, you know, when you're like, hey, we've got this party to go to, but I'm like way too nervous, so you like, you know, you pre-party, and this is just the same. It's like pre-D&D, so you can show up all D&D'd for your D&D. So you can D&D more freely. I'm super in the idea. I hope we get to do it sometime. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to find the name of the game. I don't know if I have it handy. I know Quiet Year is... Cartogramancy. No, I'm just making up. I forget. Quiet Year is one of them that uses a deck of cards, but I don't think it's the one that we used. But the last D&D campaign...
That's the one they used on the Adventure Zone.
Taz, yeah. So that's one of the places I got the idea. Right. But the one I did was more like... It was more based on index cards. So I'm not sure what it was called, but we spent 2 sessions building a world together before even playing the mode, or before even playing the game. It was challenging as a DM to like release some of that control, but it also like made the world feel so much more collaborative ahead of time to have every player pitching into like, how does this world work? And sometimes people would have very silly ideas, and I'm like, really, do we need giant why am I saying this wrong? Giant fire hydrants made out of emeralds, or like there were a couple things that were like a little too silly, and
Wait,
I
were there fires everywhere?
No.
I'm immediately curious. I want to know.
No, and this was like a couple years ago, so I don't even remember what the context was, but there were a couple things that like really challenged me to like release control, but also I found it extremely rewarding that we had this world that we built together before playing in it. Super cool thing to do.
Speaking of playing in worlds and things, some nice people said nice things about Zombie Richard Reed's Presents Snap Your Own Adventure.
Hell yeah.
And, there will surely be some more of that at some point.
Yes!
Oh, you both rocked it so hard. I loved your writing.
You entertained us too. Your stream was a blast.
It was very entertaining, Ree.
Yeah, hopefully next year I can be more secret homewordy. Caught up.